Hello everyone, my name is Connor, and today we are here to talk to you about our research on antibacterial resistance in food. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the dining options here at UMass Amherst. As someone who eats here 3 times a day, every day, if not more, the food here is very, very good. In fact, we have been ranked number 1 by the Princeton Review 7 years in a row. I know, impressive. Our dining halls offer a variety of cuisines, which allow our students to try food from all across the globe without ever stepping foot off of campus. With how great the food is here, it begs the question, how do they do it? What is their secret?
Now that Connor gave us a rundown about the different dining options here at UMass, let's talk a little bit about what antibiotic resistance is. So antibiotic resistance occurs when bacteria or other microbes develop mutations in which the antibiotics that would usually be used to treat them don't work anymore. And so this is very negative and harmful to the patients that develop these infections because there's no proper way to help them and treat their infection. Specifically for our ICONS project, we looked at the relationship between antibiotic resistance and the food production, specifically how meat is produced here at UMass Amherst. And so we looked at the relationship between the amount of antibiotics put in the animal feed for the animals to eat and the amount of antibiotic resistance bacteria that would later be in the raw meat itself. And so to talk about more about how the meat is produced here at UMass Amherst, let's go back to Daniel.
How does this relate to UMass? To be number 1 dining for so many years, UMass partners with local farms for high quality, fresh produce that supports the community. These resources are able to be transported with little to no cost due to their proximity to the school, which also contributes to the sustainability of UMass dining. For example, I'm here at Cook Farm, which is a local partner farm and also an ice cream shop only 10 minutes away from campus. But how does antibiotic-resistant bacteria play into this? It's important to know antibiotics are typically used in animal agriculture rather than crop farming. Antibiotics are usually used in animal feed to treat diseases and are under strict regulations for animal welfare. Luckily, the farms that partner with UMass are certified organic producers with little to no use of pesticides unless absolutely necessary. So we mainly need to concern ourselves with the meat here at UMass in terms of antibiotic resistance safety. According to an article in 2015 by Mass Live, UMass Amherst serves 100% antibiotic-free chicken. But what about the beef? 100% grass-fed beef may sound good on paper, but how effective is this statistic considering the use of pesticides or fertilizers from land use? To further discuss how our meat gets from farm to table, let's head back to the dining hall with Kavya.
Thanks, Daniel, and welcome to Franklin Dining Hall. Like Daniel mentioned, antibiotics are commonly used in livestock farming to prevent diseases and promote growth. But here's the problem. The more antibiotics we use in animal feed, the more it shows up in our meat products. This is a major concern for us because antibiotic resistance can be passed to humans through the food we eat.
Mass spectrometry was utilized in this research study to determine the concentration of antibiotics present in the animal feed. This specific method allowed us to quantify the number of unique protein structures present in our samples. We also cultivated bacteria from meat samples by swabbing the samples and transferring the swabs onto a sterile agar plate. The plates were then incubated and given time for the colonies to grow on their surface.
So we conducted a study to examine this, and results showed a direct correlation between antibiotic use and the presence of resistant bacteria in meat products. In this graph, we can see that as the percent mass of antibiotics in animal feed increases, the number of resistant bacteria in the resulting meat increases too. The data collected also has an R-squared coefficient of 0.994, which suggests a near-perfect correlation between usage of antibiotics in feed and the presence of resistant bacteria in meat.
So what's the solution?
That's a great question. How can we ensure the safety of our food while making sure we address this growing threat? Well, one of the ways we can do this is by implementing regenerative and sustainable agricultural practices. This includes things like using less antibiotics and, when necessary, making sure that the full course is taken. So we collected samples from large-scale factory farms as well as sustainable farms to determine the difference in antibiotic-resistant bacteria in the meat produced from both types of farm. As you can see, there's a significant decrease in antibiotic-resistant bacteria in the sustainable farms versus the factory farms.